I've just had the absolute pleasure of having Dave's company round, Dave Royds from Bob and Dave. Uh, so the first book was a parody Middlesbrough account. Bob and Dave, If the Boot Fits, sold really well. It's now in Middlesbrough Waterstones. The sequel to that was out last year, and that was Bob and Dave, The Moon Was Already Ours. I think a lot of people know what reference to that. It's a bit of a piss take, although the moon was already theirs. And so anyway, I've just been spending a bit of time with Dave, and we've started putting ideas together. I'm going to be with him next week. So there's going to be a sequel. Don't know what we're going to call it yet. I suggested something about a Parmo, straight out of Boro, straight out of Teesside, straight out of home house, something like that. So anyone's got any suggestions what we could call the third book? Again, it's going to be a lot of characters, a lot of real life characters. In the other books, Ronnie Keogh was in. I think Barry from the Empire, but we called him Uncle Barry. Who else was there? Westy from the Hot Dogs on Linthorpe Road. Purple Aki got a mention. Lots of Middlesbrough stories. And so we're going to do that again. This book's going to take off from around the millennium. So I imagine a lot of the places in the story will be your Club Toxins, your arena. Neil Booth's going to be in, but we'll change his name to Neil Smooth. I think Ray Mallon was in the first one, but we called him Ray Mellon. So there's a lot of tongue-in-cheek Middlesbrough humour. And as I said, the first one's done really well. People loved it. They left a lot of Amazon reviews. One of the funniest ones ever, someone left it a 1 star. And they said, this book is absolutely vile, appalling. It's the worst true crime book we've ever read, and it's just full of filthy language. And I was like, you should never underestimate the predictability, stupidity, because one, it wasn't a true crime book. It was just a parody, stroke comedy, bit of a Middlesbrough piss take. So that reader obviously just missed the whole point of the book and give it a 1 star, and said I got as far as certain pages and the language didn't improve. It's the world of Bob and Dave, the own Teesside and everything in it. But it's a the page has got something like 6,500 people now, and I think the majority of them will get it, but there is the odd one. So she gave us a 1 star on the fact that it was a really poor true crime book and the language was appalling. Anyway, yeah, clues in the name, parody book, but there you go. But anyway, Bob and Dave 3. I don't know what it's going to be called yet, but it's definitely happening. So we've already started putting it together, and it'll be out in 2022. So the two Middlesbrough's most well-known Caped Crusaders at Teesside are going to be back for another journey of wearing Slazenger vests, drinking Stella, riding that Aberdeen train. Just got back off the chopper a week ago, training Steel City Gym, sparking people out. All that silly nonsense is going to be back. And if anyone wants to read the other books, the first books, they're on Amazon now. As I said, we've got them in Waterstones now. So the first one was Bob and Dave, If the Boot Fits, and the sequel was Bob and Dave, The Moon Was Already Ours, reference to the Hole of the Moon, lead a few books I did. But yeah, there's going to be more silly tales from that place, Middlesbrough, again next year. So Bob and Dave 3, don't know what it's going to be called yet. So if anyone finds it interesting, if you leave your comments below, and if we use your title, I'll give you a free book. So yeah, needs to be something Middlesbrough though. Yeah, it needs to be something Middlesbrough, Parmo, Chris Rea, Janino. I don't know, just something smoggy, something Teesside. Yeah, all right. Yeah, Bob and Dave. Anyone wants any more information? there's a Facebook page called Bob and Dave's Teesside. We own it. That is a parody account. I've actually had a few people message and on the basis of saying, "Oh, you're not hard," and all this kind of, and it's like, oh God, and people start messaging aggressive inboxes. And I'm like, have a day off. But that's Middlesbrough for you. There's not the brightest people sometimes. But yeah, anyone who wants to get in touch with Bob and Dave, then inbox the page on Facebook. Thanks for your time, guys. God bless.